I really would like to visit all 50 states. I've been to a few, but the goal is to visit all 50. I know a lot of you have been to all 50 and have certainly seen more than I have, so I know you have a wealth of knowledge to share. So I thought it would be fun to share and document this journey of trying to visit all 50 states with you guys. And I think a good way to start this series is by doing a travel scratch map. Now, I've done one of these before for the countries I've visited, but this one is going to be just for the United States. I do have to travel sometimes for work, and I've been to a few conferences and things like that around the country, but some of those I'm not going to count here in this video because I feel like if I haven't had an opportunity to actually get out and explore the city well, then I'm not going to count it. I have been to Alabama. There are so many cities in Alabama that I actually really want to explore just because I feel like it has such a rich history and I just want to soak it all in. I just want to learn as much as I can. But so far, I have really only been to Birmingham, and I absolutely love Birmingham. It's actually one of my favorite little getaways. I currently live in Atlanta. Sometimes my friends and I will do a whole day trip, or I'll go there by myself and spend a weekend. I really enjoy spending time in Birmingham. The food is actually really incredible, and I feel like it's a little underrated. Kind of feels like no one knows how good the food is in Birmingham. Birmingham is a fun little city. Let's move on to Arizona. I love Arizona. I've only been to Tucson and Phoenix, unfortunately, but I want to explore so much more than that. Definitely want to visit some more of the national parks that are out there because there's so many. I mean, hello, the Grand Canyon. I've also talked about my love of Tucson in a couple other videos before. If you didn't know, Tucson is actually a UNESCO City of Gastronomy, and I can totally see why. The food is absolutely incredible. I have 2 videos about some of the food that I've tried in Tucson. I will link them down in the description box below. When my friend and I we went to Saguaro National Park. That was just so beautiful. It had been on my bucket list for years, so I was really excited to finally be able to check it off. We also went to Tombstone. I think it's a preserved Western town. It was actually a lot of fun. It was more fun than I had more fun there than I actually thought I would. It was a very interesting experience. We also went to San Javier del Bac Mission, which was so beautiful. I think that's located maybe about 10 miles outside of Tucson. But yeah, I cannot wait to explore Arizona more. California. If it wasn't so darn expensive, but it is so beautiful there, and I just love that you have the mountains, you have the beach, you have the desert. It's just, I love it. I've been to, let me see if I can remember. I've been to Los Angeles, Orange County, Long Beach, Palm Springs, San Francisco in the Bay Area, so Oakland, Berkeley, Big Sur, and San Diego. There may be more, but that's all I can think of off the top of my head. Some of the coolest experiences I've had in California was I once took a road trip with a friend of mine, and we started in LA. We may have started in LA and then took Highway 1 up, which is Highway 1 also the Pacific Coast Highway? Someone tell me in the comments below. I don't know. I should Google it, but I'm not gonna do that right now. But we took that all the way up, went to Coachella. This was years ago. Spent the night in a yurt at Big Sur. We went to Esalen for a night, which was also a very interesting experience. We went to Palm Springs, and then we ended up in San Francisco. So that was so much fun. It's still to this day one of my most memorable travel experiences that I've ever had. I feel like California is a really good state to do some great road tripping. Florida. Because I grew up in Georgia, I've actually been to Florida a few times. I was a competitive soccer player growing up, and we used to go to Florida for a lot of tournaments. A lot of it I actually don't remember, but as an adult, I have been to Orlando, Tampa, Destin, Daytona, West Palm, and Panama City, and also Miami. I love Miami. Done. So now we're moving on to my home state of Georgia. Georgia is the state I grew up in. I grew up in Atlanta. I've talked a little bit about my story in previous videos, but I moved away from Atlanta right after high school. I'm now back in Atlanta. I've been here for about 4 years or so. So it's actually kind of interesting being back in Atlanta because I'm almost relearning Atlanta as an adult because so much has changed. I am enjoying it for now, and I definitely think that Atlanta will always be sort of like a home base for me. I think a lot of people don't know, but we do have our very own little wine country here in Georgia. There's a few wineries in the north of Georgia. It could be a wonderful day trip. It's really pretty up there. Next one I'm gonna scratch off, I actually probably shouldn't, but I'm going to, is Idaho. I have been to Boise. I went there for a conference a couple of years ago, so I didn't get to explore as much as I wanted to, and I absolutely loved it. It was not at all what I expected. I don't know what I was expecting from Boise, but what I saw was not what I was expecting, but I really liked it. I really, really liked it. And there's actually a little bit of Spain in Boise. There is a region called the Basque Block, and it is the home to a lot of Basque immigrants that came over to Idaho in the 1800s after the Franco era. And when I went to Boise, I had, of course, every intention to explore more of that side of it, but I didn't have enough time. So I definitely want to go back and explore more, but I'm gonna go ahead and scratch it off here because I think I got a good taste, but I need more. I need more of Idaho. Scratched off. Let's move on to Illinois. I've been to Chicago. If you haven't already figured out by now, I'm a big city girl. And usually what I do when I'm traveling and I'm going to a state or a country that I've never been to, I usually start with the largest city because there's something in me that feels as if I start outside of the largest city, I feel like something is off. I don't know why I'm like that. I don't know if any of you are like that, but I have been to Chicago a few times. I love Chicago, really good food there. I haven't been in a few years. I really should do a solo trip to Chicago. Let's move on to Kentucky. So far, I've only been to Louisville, and I know I've said it on this channel before. I absolutely adore it. Really, really enjoyed myself there. But the thing that really struck me about Louisville was just how kind everybody was. I mean, we ran into so many strangers that were just so incredibly kind-hearted. People were just so nice there. That was something that really kind of struck me and something that I always remember about that city. I do want to visit Knoxville and Lexington. We'll get to them eventually, but for now I've been to Louisville and I loved it. So I'm gonna go ahead and scratch Kentucky off the map here. Probably also shouldn't scratch off this state as well, but I'm going to, and that is Maine. I have only been to one city in Maine, York, Maine. I loved it so much. York, Maine is just, it really is absolutely beautiful city, especially for solo travelers. It's great. I mentioned this before, but Maine is a state that has always been very mysterious to me. I'm very intrigued by it, or I've seen the pictures of the coastline and just how beautiful it is up there. I really need to explore more of Maine. Really good seafood, right? Also, okay. I love seafood, so. Next up is Massachusetts. And of course, I've only been to, you can guess it, Boston. Something that I would do is there, you know, the Megabus and the Bolt bus, sometimes they used to have those deals. I don't know if they still do this, but you know, back in the day, they used to have these deals where you could get a bus ride for $1. So if you got it far enough in advance, and I used to get those cheap rides from New York to Boston, and I would spend the weekend there or I'd spend a day there and just explore. Been to Boston a few times. It's really beautiful, especially in the springtime. I haven't been to Boston in a few years, but it's gorgeous. Oh, it's so tiny. Next, let's move on to New York, my old stomping ground. I've talked about this before. I lived in New York City. I thought that I was gonna be a New Yorker for life. You could not tell me that I wasn't a New Yorker. It is an electric city, and as a big city girl, New York is just totally my jam. Living there was exhilarating, but also exhausting at the same time. I loved every minute of it. I definitely don't think that I would ever move back, but I do love to go back there and visit, and it will always have a special place in my heart. I've also been upstate New York in the Catskills. I also have been to Rochester and Syracuse, and I actually lived for 1 year in Ithaca, New York. I went to Ithaca College briefly for a year. Hated it. It is a really beautiful state. I love New York. South Carolina. I've been to Clemson and Greenville. I've shared how much I love Greenville. I love doing day trips to Greenville as well. It's also small enough to really explore. It's a great city for solo travelers. Let's move on to Tennessee. Tennessee, I actually think, is probably another one of my favorite states. Tennessee has so many fun cities. I've been to Nashville. I've been to Memphis. Memphis is a lot of fun. Memphis is a city I'd love to go back to. I've only been there once. I went to Chattanooga last year with my mom, had a fantastic time. I love Chattanooga so much. I really want to go to Knoxville as well. I think it's a really good state also for people who love being outdoors. There's a lot of hiking trails. There's just so much greenery, so much nature to enjoy and explore. I've only been to Austin, probably about a dozen times I've been to Austin. I love Austin. It's one of my favorite cities in the US. I had a trip to San Antonio planned a couple of years ago, and I was really excited. Everything was prepped. I had my hotel, I had my itinerary, I had everything, and then I got sick. and I got so sick that I could not travel. I had to cancel everything. I was just in bed, really sad about that, and I haven't been able to make up that trip, but I have plans to make up that trip. Also have not been to Houston. I am dying to go to Houston. Houston is calling my name. So there's just so much in Texas that I want to explore. If you live in Texas or you know Texas really well, please drop your Texas suggestions in the description box, because I don't know what it is about Texas. I'm very excited to explore more of it. Woo, this is a big one and really satisfying. It's hard work. And lastly is Washington. I have been to Seattle. I really enjoyed it. That's it. That was a lot of fun. Now that I'm looking at the map, it kind of looks a little sad. I need your help. I need your suggestions. Leave them in the comments below. Let me know your favorite states, your favorite cities in the US. I'm really excited to start this new series. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.